Yeah, the women have been chased. I mean, have to be escorted out of grocery stores here. And I'm not saying it's specifically Haitian, but a lot of it really is. And I know there's multiple incidences all over the state because it's not just a Springfield problem.
No.
We've got issues up north in like Findlay. We've got it in Lima. We've got it now moving to Cincinnati. Some of the comments on my TikTok this morning were like they're probably not showing their faces in Springfield anymore. Number one, because of the news media that's there to cover it. We want to continue to be made look like liars.
So your name is?
My name is Hayden.
Hayden. It's
Yeah,
nice to meet you. I'm
very nice to
Jonathan.
meet you.
I know we've already met,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Nice to
so
meet you.
could you just tell me what brings you out here today? What's going on here?
So we have a lot of stuff going on in the city. Trying to figure out the right place to start here. Number one, a lot of the people are only here because of what has been said on the debate. That was mentioned in the first just few minutes by Trump, and I'm really actually thankful that he brought the light to Springfield, Ohio, because I've been here for 6 years. We've been here for a long time trying to get the word out and make it known that we have an influx in our city. And it's really running the city into the ground for many reasons. Number one, they're not eating our cats and dogs. Not like it's said. I will say that we have had like wildlife missing, farm animals missing. I've actually stumbled upon slaughtered farm animals myself, which was extremely creepy and grotesque for my kids to see.
Wow.
It was like 4 to 5 pig carcasses dumped at an old school site. So it was a little hard to see. And I reported that, really didn't hear much from that.
Why at a school, do you think? Just
it was an old site that got demolished, so I feel like it was just
somewhere
place
to
dump.
throw them.
And
I gotcha.
I'm not saying it's necessarily them. It's just ever since that they've been in our city, it's happened. Yeah, we've had people say there's been like pictures circulating of a woman eating a cat. That wasn't here in Springfield. It was in Ohio, but that wasn't necessarily us here. The traffic is mainly the biggest thing for me. The driving, like I said, they're just not assimilated to our etiquette when it comes to driving. Number one, I don't even think they possess vehicles in Haiti. They have like tuk-tuks, which
Yeah.
public transportation where everybody kind of jumps on. But influx of accidents, and not only that, but they're driving without insurance. I'm not exactly sure how that's happening, but they are. Driving without insurance, and then the language barrier is so strong where they can't communicate with the officer, so the officer's hands are tied. We don't have translators with officers, they can't just pull out their phone on traffic stops. They're so extremely exhausted and busy in this city.
Yeah. Do you know, do they actually have driver's license? Are they testing them before they put them behind the wheel?
So
or
what I've seen, I used to go to the B&B here in Springfield, but I refuse to do that now just because it's so packed full of people and mostly immigrants.
Oh, yeah.
What I have seen, though, is they do have a translator, and they only have to take the written portion of the test. They don't have to do
There's
the
no driving.
Nope, not that I've heard.
They get that live on the
100%. Yeah, they're just practicing, I guess, on the roads here. Meanwhile, I have a 15-year-old daughter that I'm putting through driving school. I'm paying $600 for her driving school, and I can't even let her exercise her permit because the streets are so unsafe here. We literally have to drive to a different city for that and a grocery shop because we have seen firsthand people trying products and putting them back on the shelves.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Huh.
Yeah.
So as far as, and I've heard from everybody that the traffic stuff is probably the worst.
It is. It really is.
And even coming here, I was behind one person, and this is my first time here.
Yeah.
It made me look like I lived here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A safe driver is rare here in
ridiculous.
Springfield. That's what I said. I made a TikTok video that kind of blew up, and I was just saying, like, the etiquette here in Springfield isn't very good as it is, but with them coming in, it's just made it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to have a bunch of Ohio State Patrol that's coming into our city, but where is everybody, honestly?
I heard that DeWine was going to be sending some of the National Guard here. Did that ever happen?
We
Do you
never
know?
have seen anything like that. It's only been really 2 days since it's blown up on social media.
Yeah, since the debate, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more of people coming in here and trying to help the city, because that's what we need. We need boundaries, and we need repercussions for things that happen. Our jails down here, full capacity. Unless you commit a serious crime, you're not even jailed in this city anymore. So it's not like we're filling them up with people that don't live here.
Now, do you have any idea the demographics of the inmates at the jail? Is it mainly Haitian at this point?
I don't believe so. I don't believe it's Haitian people in the jails. I believe it's the people here in the city.
The people here, okay.
And like I said, with the language barrier, it's just so hard to even do the correct process of the criminal intake because of how strong the language barrier is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, crime-wise, has that gone up since the influx of the Haitians or stayed the same? Because I know you say it's not really Haitians in the jail.
I really don't believe that they're causing a lot of the crime. I believe that they're honestly here, they're being peaceful, but they're not doing anything to benefit our community.
They're
not stimulating our downtown businesses. I work down here. I see it firsthand. It's not being stimulated at all.
Yeah.
It's not. And like, we have a beautiful state park out here. We have beautiful parks all over the city, actually, but our state park where I usually take my kids to go hiking is completely littered with trash now. There's tons of photos out there.
Chase the women down there?
Yeah, the women have been chased. I mean, have to be escorted out of grocery stores here. And I'm not saying it's specifically Haitian, but a lot of it really is. And I know there's multiple incidences all over the state because it's not just a Springfield problem.
No.
We've got issues up north in like Findlay. We've got it in Lima. We've got it now moving to Cincinnati. Some of the comments on my TikTok this morning were like, they're probably not showing their faces in Springfield anymore. Number one, because of the news media that's there to cover it. We want to continue to be made look like liars.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then, yeah, they're moving.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does.
As far as you mentioned voting earlier,
Yeah.
what are some of your concerns there?
So, like I mentioned, Dayton Daily News just posted an article about, I think, 22 hours ago, stating that the state secretary had rejected a form that was translated into Haitian Creole, and just to be on your toes when it comes to election time. Because, like I said, we are a swing state.
Yeah.
You know, our votes really matter here. Everybody's super passionate about making a change in this city, in this country right now. I mean, we're desperate. And if it takes bringing in a ton of people, hate to say it, but Hillary Clinton has had some ties in Haiti. Also, DeWine has a school in Haiti.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he does. But there's just a lot of the ties that go across the border, big and small. And I honestly do blame the people in charge, the big people. It's not their fault that they're coming over here. I mean, if I saw a better opportunity in a different country,
amen.
Yeah, I would move too. I would move my family, but like, let's look at where they come from. Let's look at the Dominican Republic that has now built a wall and shoots any trespassers from Haiti that come into their country.
Oh, yeah.
They've been overthrown by a violent gang.
Well, I used to have a lot of Dominican friends, and that was one of the things they would always talk about is how bad Haiti was.
Yeah.
It was just bad. And Dominican ain't the greatest place neither,
100%.
you know?
Yeah.
But I get the whole humanitarian aspect of it. You know,
Absolutely.
even just, you know, the border in general, you know, it's a humanitarian crisis. And it breaks your heart to watch some of the videos, you know, the young kids, that, you know, and just to imagine, because you don't know where they're coming from, just to imagine where they're coming from, what drove them to trek such a dangerous track across a continent to get to here. So your heart goes out for them, but at the same time, it's like,
we have to put into our own people, into our own country.
Yeah.
And like, we're all one race. At the end of the day, we're human.
Yes, we
you
are.
know, and like, that's what I keep trying to tell people is be easy, be generous, but like keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Like when I'm crossing a road now, I don't only just like look left and right. I have to do a 360 and make sure that I'm okay to cross. They drive down one-way streets here.
They're
through
red
cars.
lights.
They're flipping cars when there's nothing to even run into and flip them. I mean, every single day we're seeing posts on Facebook because that's what it's going to take as people of Springfield going past the hearsay, pulling out our phones and starting to like document proof. Because a lot of people think we're just a laughing stock now because of how the media's portrayed it. Like we're eating our fuzzy pets. It's not like that.
Well, that's media on the right. I think a lot of the media on the left tries to paint it as though, oh, the Haitians aren't a problem here at all.
Yeah.
You know, they're no problem. Everybody's happy. We needed them to go there because we needed them for work.
Yeah,
you know, and everybody I've
jobs.
talked to here is, no, there's a lot of people here that need jobs, that
100%.
needed jobs before the Haitians came. And now it's even harder for them to get jobs because, you know.
Absolutely.
So, there's a lot of angry people here. How do you feel overall about this?
See, I'm not directly impacted as far as being in the city. I live out in the county area, but I do work in the city. I do have kids that, you know, we come all over the place and travel all over the city. So I'm angry more at our city commissioner and our city manager, our mayor. I mean, I just think that so much more needs to be done up top and, you know, the trickle down will happen, but We need to have that coming from the top first. Absolutely.
So how do you think we fix these issues? How do you, and you covered a little bit on that, but.
I mean, it's going to sound really blunt, but we need mass deportation. We can help as much as we can, but like I said, it's a temporary protective status. We can do that for the meantime, but the influx of people, it's not going to do anything better for our communities. If we import the third world, we're going to become the third world.
Oh, yeah. To a city that can absorb them like LA, you know?
Yeah, if we could acclimate.
Well, but even, and that's why I say this problem is countrywide, because even Democrat City, New York City, Democrat mayor was always, somebody that, we need immigrants, we need immigrants. And then all of a sudden it's like now all the hotels are filled.
Exactly.
They can't, they don't know what to do. They're spending buku amounts of dollars because the federal help isn't enough. And it's like, what do we do? We
can help so much, but at the end of the day, our hands are tied. We have people here from Springfield. Number one, we had a homeless shelter that got shut down, lost funding, displaced so many families that were leaning on that for support. We have no idea the future of that building, but it's safe to say so many buildings are being purchased and turned into places to home the Haitians. We have people all over, like Limestone Street, East Main Street, all over the place that are sleeping in tents. I mean, they can't even afford their daily life, yet we're granting so many dollars on debit cards as soon as they get here. They're buying cars in cash. They're not having to have any kind of credit history, proof of insurance to buy these vehicles. They're going door to door and buying homes in cash.
Yep.
Landlords are they're kicking the families out that have lived there forever just because they know they can make triple the amount on a Haitian family. They're 10 to 20 people per room in houses. They just don't live the same as we do. Our cultures do not align, therefore it's causing a problem.
Yeah, and a lot of the people I talk to say, they'll go to pay for something and pull out 2-3 debit cards, and their biggest problem is 100%. Forgetting the pins. And these are government issued debit cards, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah, I have people that work in stores that say it's very hard, especially just the language barrier. They're having to stop what they do, pull out a phone, translate, and it's just they're not getting paid extra to do stuff like this.
What do you think the motive is?
That's a tough question.
I know that's a tough one. I'm
really
sorry.
Is. I really think that it's to deter people from making the correct choice in the election. I feel like it is going to be where they're able to get a license, register to vote, pay for guns, pay for ammo, go to the voting office and vote for the people that brought them here and keep them here because they have a good life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's why the city just sent me a bill for $450 and told me I didn't pay my taxes in 2018, 19, and 20.
Yeah, they're not paying taxes
either. Which I do because I come down here every year and they do my taxes for me.
Yeah.
They sent me a $450.
I figured they were tax exempt.
Yeah,
I assumed that.
Yeah, with that status. And
yep.
I did see something where Kamala was saying that they granted 100,000 temporary protective statuses. We've only seen an influx to 20 to 30,000 here in Springfield. They make up a third of our population now.
Yeah.
My kids' school actually has to take out of their curriculum to now teach English to non-English speaking. And trust me when I say I feel bad for those children because they're the ones that still have to go out and be the face of, what's going on. They can't just sit in their houses and hide. I really do I have compassion. Like I really do. But at the end of the day, like we're, as Americans, we have to stand our ground and push through. I mean, we have to provide for those people that are here. My best friend's Canadian, and the loops that I've had to see her jump through to be able to vote, to move state to state and obtain her birth certificates and transfer her license. I mean, it's just absolutely insane.
But she got through it all. She did it the right way.
Yeah, exactly. They came here and they did it the right way. Amen. She is an immigrant, but she's a citizen of the United States because she did it the right way.
And she probably knows because she did it the right way more about the history of this country 100%. Than what a lot of people know.
100%.
You used to have to take a test.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have to learn anything. I mean, like I said, if they could acclimate with our culture, our etiquette, and
show us that they're coming here for the right reasons.
Exactly. And if they could benefit our community, like the whole jobs thing, like I know they work at the manufacturing plant TIK-TOK here in Springfield. It's like a Japanese manufacturing plant. And I heard they're great workers. I really did. Yeah. But at the same time, like those are jobs that people on the streets here in Springfield deserve and that they need. Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild time to be a Springfield resident, that's for sure.
It really is.
It really is. I have spoke with a few independent journalists. I've reached out to different news sources. I've even sent stuff to Trump and Donald Trump Jr., Charlie Kirk, Alex Jones. I'm trying to literally put my word out there. Like that's more right wing. I do understand that, but I try to reach out to pretty much everywhere, and I haven't heard much back. But I have gotten feedback on social media. One of the persons that messaged me did say that she lived in Haiti and they do indeed eat cats
Oh,
there.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they do.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's such a shock value to people.
Well,
here,
not
like
only
they're
that,
eating our
you
cats.
look into voodoo stuff, and there's a lot of, I mean, chicken blood and, just different stuff that they use for,
If I could say it, I mentioned I have stumbled upon some pretty gruesome sites here in Springfield myself, which was at the old school by my house that got torn down, and now it's just a vacant lot. But there was like 4 to 5 pig carcasses beheaded. There was absolutely no blood, no bones. And
that's weird.
That aligns with certain
voodoo.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate to just go out there and be like, they did this, but like this would never be a problem if they were here. We have never seen anything like that in our city, and we see all kinds of stuff here in Springfield.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not the most perfect place, but
that's
it is what you
disturbing.
make it.
The carcasses with it, because I'm a hunter, so
Yeah.
I know, unless you're building tools, you don't need
Yeah.
the bones,
Exactly.
and I mean, the blood as a Christian, the Bible flat out says, that's why culturally we hang our animals and let the blood drain
Exactly.
out, is because that's a Christian,
Yep.
idea, is because scripture basically says life is in the blood. You drain the
Exactly.
blood, you don't eat the blood.
Yep.
Now, growing up, I had some weirdos hunting, you got to bite into the deer heart live, and all that.
yeah.
It's like, no, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
You guys
exactly.
do whatever you feel you have to.
Yeah, coming from the family that also hunts and has hunted forever, it's definitely disturbing to see these scenes. My children, I have 4 children here that I'm trying to raise in this city and teach them about, our awesome community. I'm very involved with this community downtown, so it's near and dear to my heart for a specific reason. I just want to see the best for this city and the people that are in it.
Amen. You say
Yeah.
your daughter, what grade is your daughter in, if you don't
So
mind
I have
asking?
3 daughters.
3?
Yeah, I've got a sophomore. Yeah, thanks. Got a sophomore. I have one that is in 6th grade and one that's in pre-K, and I have a son that's in kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So how are they doing with it all? Do they have Haitian classmates at this point?
They do. They don't really say anything about any differences at school with them or anything. They just pretty much hear from what everybody else has to say, and they kind of make their own judgment, which, like I said, I try to approach it in a kind manner.
Oh, yeah.
I just, like, they're one of us. We can't
Oh,
do
yeah,
anything
amen.
about the fact that they're here. So
It's not their fault, per se.
Exactly. That's where I'm at. I don't look at them like, hey, it's your fault, you need to get out of here. I look at the city commissioner and everybody else who's in charge here that has brought them in and lined their pockets. It's crazy how people can become multimillionaires in the span of 2 years.
Do you know of anybody that has...
I don't want to name drop necessarily.
Okay.
I don't want to be on the spotlight just because I'm involved with this city. But if
I
you just take a
understand.
look, do a Google search.
Okay.
Look at their finances. Look at properties that have been bought. First diversity staffing here in Springfield. I mean, there's just a lot.
Now, the
It runs deep.
first diversity staffing, being a white 30-year-old male, would I be able to go down to first diversity staffing and get placed somewhere? Or is it more just they cater to...
I think right now with the influx, it's catered more towards, but I believe if you would go down there, they would make a spot for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't think they're prejudiced in that aspect, but I also don't know. I don't go in
Yeah,
there.
you've never tried.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's a good thing to try, though, maybe.
So what do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I do social media marketing. I bartend at a local fine dining bistro here.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach runway.
Did you go to school for marketing?
I didn't. Nope, I learned that all
Very
just
good
by
for
being,
you.
Yeah,
I
the
went.
social media.
I just got through with my degree for strategic communications,
nice.
and so a lot of that is marketing. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I hate it.
Really?
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah,
I
my
hate
dad
it.
works for iHeartRadio, so he's all in with that too. He knows how it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more questions for you. Not that I can
nailed
think
a
of.
lot of the topics here.
You did awesome.
I feel like there's a lot of topics, and I keep posting them as they're coming in. Also, like it's been a huge thing for me. But seeing the trickle down effect to what's happened, Springfield being put on the spotlight. Look at our schools and how we're getting letters sent out weekly. We've had 2 this week saying that there's been like threats they've investigated into. I mean, City Hall here has had threats. We closed down all government buildings just this week.
When was the threat at the school? Because I know the city hall was at yesterday, the day before.
So yesterday was City Hall. We got one Monday and then we got one today. That was just saying basically schools closed here in Springfield today. My kids don't because we're out in the county, but a lot of the schools did close down here just because of threats, and I'm assuming it's just stemmed from this. Our city is seeing so much coverage. I mean, I saw like Fox News and MSNBC and like all these different news stations down here yesterday. It's crazy.
Do they have any ideas on who's calling in these threats? Has there been anything that's come out about any of that?
I haven't heard anything. All I knew was it was my email. That's all I heard. Other than that, they haven't really dropped any official statements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that the Haitians are here for good? Do you think there will be deportations in the future?
Only if there's a change in who holds power in this country. I think that's really what it's going to boil down to. I haven't seen any kind of policy from Kamala.
Yeah.
If there was something that, showed that this was an outline of what's going to happen, that might be a reason to, maybe vote for her. But at this point, I think we know what needs to happen for our country, and it's just to keep the Americans here and keep them safe. We should be the first priority. Yeah.
So America first, I guess.
America first. We have to take America back, drain the swamp, and make this a place that people want to be in again, because it starts up high and it's affecting us down low. Truly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is.
And the media continues, like you said, to try to cover stuff like this up,
Exactly.
to not let your voice get out.
100%. Yeah, that's why I'm doing my independent thing on TikTok. I mean, I don't even use TikTok, but I started doing that just because I knew that it was going to gain traction. And overnight, I woke up with an extra 30,000 views, and it's just something that needs to be said. And I have a lot of people saying, that's brave and proud. We're proud of you, but also at the same time, beware of your surroundings, because it's also scary that you're being a voice for these people, because people are afraid to speak up.
Listen, so I've started, and I'm doing this both through All Sides Media, but also independently for myself. So
sure.
I've started my independent venture not long back. Actually, I was at the Trump shooting.
Yeah.
So from there, I've been interviewing other rally witnesses, and kind of same idea.
Yeah.
I posted a video right after the shots rang out, and I was probably one of the first people to actually get something uploaded.
Probably saw it.
And
I probably saw it, honestly. That was crazy.
Yes, it was. Oh, my wife was there. It was, the only thing that would have made it worse is if I had kids and they were there with me.
I have one more thing I want to touch on. Yeah. Now that I think about it. So a lot of what's happening in this city, obviously, is being race driven too. You're speaking out, you're racist, blah, blah, blah. Another thing that has happened recently is we've had somebody who's called the Blood Tribe come stampeding through Springfield. Do you know who that is?
Were those the neo-Nazis?
Yes. Okay, so it's the neo-Nazis. So I feel like that's also casting Springfield in a terrible light. They're saying, they're letting Nazis march through the street. Well, guess what? They have freedom of speech. That's what we want. We want to have these constitutional rights, freedom to carry. We're an open carry state anyway here in Ohio. So free to bear arms. And unfortunately, they made their presence known here to really stir the pot, and what they did was they just wanted the attention on them, and that's what they're getting. People aren't giving it to them, but that's what they're getting. And I just want to say that that's not associated with those people that live in Springfield that are feeling passionate about what's happening. They're their own independent thing. We do not blame them.
Yeah.
We are not for that, honestly.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
I know
100%.
when I first started looking into Springfield, I was like, yes, I think I'm just going to drive down there and see, what's going on. And I'm like, but they got the neo-Nazis and the bomb threats and people eating cats. I don't know what I'm getting into here.
A lot of people are, even my friend, she lives in Missouri now, my Canadian friend, but she said herself, she's like, I'm really scared to come and visit. She's coming next weekend. And she's like, I'm really scared to come visit. And I'm like, you don't have to be, honestly.
Yeah.
You come out here, it's beautiful. I walk down here every night after I get off work. It's not really that much of a dangerous place. And they're not here to cause any problems. They're here for the benefits. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Amen.
Honestly, So yeah.
And I'm sure they don't want to mess those benefits up.
100%.
So I'm sure they're,
That's why I said I really feel like they're laying low the past few days. I haven't seen as many out driving. I don't know if that's the Ohio State Patrol thing that was being brought in, fear mongering with that.
Right now, I think time will tell. So if they stay, you've got to think all the kids they're going to have. This will be a different town 10 years from now.
That's another thing.
It's a different town already, but
it is. I have a lot of families that work in the hospitals here, and they say that this is the highest cases of HIV that they've ever seen in the hospitals.
Oh, wow.
That almost all the births done by Haitian women have to be cesarean section because of the diseases. Mm-hmm. So what kind of diseases are being brought in? They want to make it a mandatory thing to vaccinate children before they send them to school, but what kind of proper precautions are they taking?
Yeah.
We're going to start seeing, and of course, it'd be perfect timing to have another pandemic or something right before an election.
Well, and that's, kind of been thinking it's coming, all the monkeypox
100%.
talk and, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So you're probably like me in the sense that you have that feeling, like
100%.
something bad.
It's an intuition, it's an ominous looming feeling of something that's going to happen
all
next.
The traveling I do, all the people I talk to, it would, I think, surprise a lot of people to hear how many people think just like we think.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
It's not out there, being able to tell our story.
Yeah.
That's why people like us are out here doing what we do.
Amen.
Yep. For real.
For real.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add before?
If anybody wants to see real-time updates, you can look at my TikTok. It's Hayden on there, and I'm just every single day I'm posting new information that I have coming in, just because I'm seeing it from the front lines. You know, it's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
a he said, she said. And I also really encourage Springfield people to pull out their phones. Like, people are wanting to see proof of what's going on. Pull out your phone. People have phones in their face 24/7 now.
Yep. Take
Time
videos.
to
Take
take
pictures.
pictures and make it known what's happening in our city.
Amen.
It's time to make a change.
Amen.
Yeah.
Talking with Hayden earlier really opened my eyes in the sense that she gave us a glimpse into not just her heart and her mind, but she helped us to paint a bigger picture to be able to understand just what many of the residents of Springfield, Ohio feel and think about the situation at hand. There is a large influx of Haitian migrants in Springfield. There is no doubt there. Where the doubt lies is, well, why the hype? Why? Well, the social media posts were debunked. But I'll tell you what, there are still a lot of people that are concerned about animals going missing, about, all sorts of problems. Driving. They give these people licenses and just put them on the road, and they're causing wrecks and chaos within that small town. People are angry. People are asking questions. They want to know why. What's the motive? Who put these people here? Who's making money off these people being here? These questions are all being asked, and I'll tell you, the residents of Springfield want to know the answers, and so does all of America. So stay tuned as we continue to probe this whole matter and get down to the truth, to the vital narrative. Until next time, embrace the stories that matter.